Welcome back to the podcast. This is the last episode of season 3. I'm joined once again by Rob.
I know. Hello. And as if we've made it to the end of season 3.
I know. It's, we'll get on to more of what's coming next later on. But this week I spoke to our sponsors. Let's start from here, MPB. And I was like, it's the last episode for the season. What do you want? And they said, well, it's like National Photographer's Day or something in August, and we're getting towards that. Maybe do something about that. Do something about your journey into photography. And my initial thought was, obviously not. I did everything wrong. Like everything. Every bit of advice I give you today, I did not take. But it still went right. So we're going to go through that. We're also going to cover the toxic space of photography because it seems to come in waves, but it's definitely hitting that toxic point again. The first camera setups both Rob and I had that we managed to charge money using. See if you can guess in the comments below what the first camera I used on a paying job was and what Rob's was.
Oh, I can definitely remember mine.
I can definitely remember mine as well. It's I definitely remember it. We're going to go through those. We're going to see how much they cost to buy today.
Oh, pennies in comparison.
I can only imagine. We're going to have a brief touch on retirement. We had a video out on that this week, and there's lots of good questions surrounding it. And then we're going to finish up with the age-old question, as it's the end of the season: is the industry going to survive? Because as you all know, I'm a mercenary person. The fact that I'm sat here now tells you all you need to know about my opinion on it, but we'll get into that. So,
and for context, this is a Sunday.
This is
our day off.
This is, I have just had a week off, but we're on a double podcast. We're on a big filming day today. Today's all about filming. We're shooting literally terabytes, I'd imagine, by the end of the day of content.
Yeah.
To which Backblaze, cheers guys, is going to be very grateful for receiving for their $10 a month.
Now, this week's episode is sponsored by MPB. We're super grateful to have them on board again.
If you're looking to sell or trade equipment, it's so easy. You can complete a free instant quote, arrange a free courier to collect from your door at the date and time to suit you. MPB then inspects the gear and confirms your quote. Now, I'm in two minds as to where to start here. Do we go from retirement and work our way backwards, or do we start from the beginning and go forwards?
I think you go chronological.
Chronological was easier on my head, but you're going to have to wait for the punchline right at the end, I suppose, rather than getting the final result and going back. So, I started photography in 2009. When did you start?
2013.
2013. It's interesting how we both know.
Well, because I turned 40 and bought a camera. That's what happened. So that's such an easy thing to remember.
I came back from a bit of a disastrous exit from China and bought. I didn't buy a camera, actually. I didn't have any money. I was given a camera to start with. I was given my uncle's camera. We'll get onto that later, though. And I started in photography as a predominantly what I would class as documentary at the time. In hindsight, it was just taking pictures of stuff. There was no narrative. It was just pictures. And of course, they sucked, like pretty bad. And they sucked even more if I edited them. That definitely made them worse. I'd have been better off. I mean, I remember the early days, I could only work out how to shoot JPEG. I knew RAW existed, but I didn't know what to do with the RAW file. There was no processing available for me.
You see, me being a nerd, I went straight into RAW. With some questionable grading choices back in the day.
I definitely shot my first 2 years of work in JPEG only and still tried to grade. You can imagine how that went.
Yeah. Not well, I'm going to guess, in most parts.
And it's interesting. So as well as having my digital camera, I also had a Pentax ME2000, which is a 35mm camera. And I still have it today, actually. It's in my film camera fridge. It's not a fridge, a barometer thing. My Bronica ETRSI with the 75mm Zenzicon, which is a brilliant camera. Now, I got much better results from the film cameras by developing it myself, either scanning it using the Epson scanners the university had, even though I was doing a master's in science. My card worked on the arts department, so I used to go in there and do that. I used to go to a place called Chapters in Cardiff, and they had a darkroom, which was something nuts, like £10 a year membership, and you just use everything for free. I'm sure it's not the same anymore. But Chapters like it's the equivalent to the Phoenix in Leicester, but much better because it's not in Leicester, and it's run by people who know what they're doing. So Chapters, there's this great place in Cardiff, I'm sure it still exists, like proper beers, good cinema, really good dark rooms. And I started off there doing sort of documentary, basically just photographing stuff. If you needed a photo taking, I was your guy, especially if you needed doing cheap and badly. That was the main thing. And my first job was shooting McFly.
Yes.
For money. That was my first paying job. My second paying job was a wedding that I shot exclusively on film because I didn't know how to do it on digital. My third job was some proper gangster's wife's birthday party, which they gave me 500 quid cash for. I'd never felt so rich.
Well, I assume there would have been a lot of Range Rovers in the car park.
There was a lot of Range Rovers.
Yeah.
And it took me ages to edit them all and all the rest of it, but we got that done, delivered. I mean, the photo, they got 500 quid's worth of photos, but you don't get much for 500 quid in photo world. It was that quality. And then I started working with my mate Hits.
Yes.
And I was taking wedding bookings at this point, but I was shooting for him and I had to use his cameras because mine weren't good enough for his work. I mean, to be honest, mine were good enough for his work. I wasn't good enough was the main issue. So they needed to give me better kit to try and mask some of that sort of thing. And I'll never forget, after one particular wedding, we're sat in his studio doing the edit. And he's like, Scott, you ever heard of the rule of thirds? I was like, no. It was like, mate, the composition on these images is atrocious. I was like, oh yeah. He's like, don't just point the camera, you have to compose it. Otherwise we'll be here forever because I'm having to crop every single one into a composition.
Well, 1,000 plus, I mean, especially Asian weddings, like
yeah,
multiple thousands of images.
Sikh and Hindu weddings, 3 days long, plus 3 days worth of like pre-wedding parties and all the rest of it. That stuff added up quick. It was a real slog. I remember we used to get like sometimes a hotel room to share between us. Not because we were going to sleep in there, just to have a shower between shifts. It was that hard. This was back, what were we shooting then? 1DS Mark IIs, 5D Mark 1s. Hits had a 5D Mark II. We'd got the 17 to 40 millimeter f4L, a 24 to 70, a 24 105, which is what I was given. And I was given that on the 1DS Mark II, where even when you looked at the back of the screen, you couldn't tell if it was exposed correctly or in focus. Like, yo, I know I've got a photograph. That's all I know. And 580 EX flashes. Then we went to the EX2s after a while, which were much better. Little AA battery grip underneath to power your flash.
Yeah.
The heavy kit. And then Hits use the 35 1.4L and the 85 1.2L, which are beautiful lenses. And we had the Elinchron Rangers for lights, which are they were portable back in the day, but not by today's standards.
Well,
They were beastly. And yeah, that's sort of where I started my first few years. What were you doing in your first few years?
Well, I was going to clearly be the next Ross Halfin. I started off in music because, again, I bought a camera with no plans to do anything with it whatsoever. And friends of mine were playing at one of the local bars, the now gone Pie Bar.
Yep.
And Temple of Lies, if you remember those guys.
Vaguely.
Yep. I went to school with like 3 members of the band. So like,
winner.
I'm like, oh yeah, so I can do that. And then like, I remember like getting a message from someone slid into my DMs. They're like, oh, I saw the picture you did at Temple of Lies. What do you charge for a gig? I'm like, what do you mean charge? I don't know.
Yeah. Money?
Yeah,
what
like,
is that?
You know, and again, obviously imposter syndrome kicked in hard. So obviously went out and shot like 2,000 pictures or whatever then of the gig that I was booked to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was a lot, Rob, wasn't it? And like, then you dial it back after that. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think by the time I'd started working with Hits, I was shooting music on the side. That was what I was doing. I was doing band shoots for 50 quid. Like, you want to get album cover shooting, 50 quid. You want a promo shoot, 50 quid.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're starting out, you're grateful for anything. You think, brilliant.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like, I was getting what, £10 an hour at work. It's 5 hours work, 50 quid.
Yeah.
It's, I'd got a couple of prime lenses. And then I had a job for a private company, which worked alongside the NHS at some point. And it allowed me to save up enough money to buy a 5D Mark II, which cost me £1,500. And I saved up for months.
Well, that was a $4,000 camera back then, so.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I bought my 5D Mark II, the 5D Mark III had been out for a while. Everyone else had moved to that camera. So I bought the 5D Mark II. And then eventually saved up enough money to buy a second one. But this was very far into my career. I was already charging $1,000 a day at this point, but not really getting much work.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that was the camera that built your career, really, 5D Mark II, I'd say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the camera I'm taking on a shoot on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That has made... I wonder how many hundreds of thousands of pounds I've made from that camera.
A lot.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. It's...
I mean, I think you spent the better part of a decade on that system.
Absolutely. Definitely. It's and it's still chuck. I've still got my original one, that one I bought from this job that I had for a private company.
Yeah, it's the one you never sold.
It's the one I never sold because I made so many. I did have my 5D original, but I sent it to the flash center because something broke on it and I forgot about it. And I'd imagine it's gone.
Yeah.
I love that camera. I bought it from Jessop's or Jacobs and they went bust for £600. That was a beauty. The files in the 5D Mark I, the skin tones are insane. They're the 5D Mark II starts to look quite digital from that point onwards.
Yeah. I mean, what the only thing I really ever criticised the 5D Mark II for was the fact that the screen had a massive magenta shift on it.
Yeah, it was not accurate.
It was not colour accurate whatsoever.
But the weird thing is you get so used to it, then you look at any other screen and that the 5D Mark II looks right to you. And then...
Although, being a 6D user, that had a much better screen than the 5D did.
Yeah, much sharper. You could zoom in and see if you'd actually got focus.
And it was relatively colour accurate as well.
Yeah, and mine always looked too bright on the screen on the 5D Mark II. I mean, now it's got a massive crack through the back of it. Do you know what? It's in the bag nearby. Rob, make small talk. I'll be right back.
Oh, wow. It's like, I mean, this is like a little bit of history, really. I mean, I remember these, and again, held together with prayers and tape. And there it is.
We've got it. Come on, AI edit. Don't let me down here. So this is numero uno, 5D Mark II with the current shutter has around 300,000 actuations on it. But this is at least the third shutter in this
Complete
camera.
with gaff tape and cracked screen.
Yep. So we've got the cracked screen, obviously. We've lost the eye cup because obviously that's a proper pro move. This here has been replaced, the leather around it, but it's come off again. It was properly replaced by Canon. And now it's just being held on by tape, what I can gather. It's got a couple of scratches. I don't know what this is holding together, but that's not there by mistake.
And again, worth noting, it is the OE battery grip, not the third-party one.
Oh, yeah, it's a proper grip, because you can't be a pro without a grip, was my thinking at the time. Turns out they're actually a real pain in the arse and they get in the way of everything. But you get 2 batteries in there. I used to have the tray as well to put the double A's in case you completely screwed it. When you go on a shoot, you're like, I have to nip into the local 7-Eleven, spend 20 quid on double A's. But it's a good bit of kit. It's a beaut.
And again, image quality, it would still do like 80% of what you would ever need to do today.
Yeah, I don't think I could, like the campaign we shot last week, or edited last week even, we couldn't have done it with this. We could have done it with this, but, that's nearly pristine in there.
Yeah, the bit under the grip.
I must have put the grip on early doors. I wonder what to do with the battery doors. There's a bit here to store the battery door so you don't lose it.
That's it, yeah, the flap.
Yeah, obviously I've lost that, haven't I? That's gone.
Because the thing is, the camera won't turn on without it.
That's really annoying as well.
It's just one of those bizarre things.
Yeah, it's these are beautiful cameras. I love them. It feels like a camera, and it doubles as a weapon.
And they were bulletproof. They just did not break.
Look at that. What a beast. It's a good bit of kit, that is. Would highly recommend it. You can get them for like 200 quid now. It's got everything you need. Mic port. The video is pretty shocking, actually, by modern standards.
But again, that started the entire DSLR video revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. So you got your HDMI out for your monitor. You've got your little, you got a port here, which is for your intervalometer or trigger. PC sync port here for flash, which is vital in rental studios. I don't know what an AV out is. I've never used that. And then you got your data cable here.
That's a composite video out. That's what that is.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. I've never used that.
Yeah, nobody uses that.
I don't know why it's there. There's probably something. It's probably a use for it. Yeah, you can. It's got a hole there in the camera. That shouldn't be like that. There's a few bits broken on it. But this is the one I'll be. Oh god, that's coming off as well. That needs taping down before the shoot. But it still shoots. It still works. Still got a pretty clean shutter box. I mean, it is a new shutter box or newish shutter box. Yeah, they're just great cameras, aren't they?
Again, they were just dependable workhorses.
Yeah, can't complain with a 5D Mark II. Was it 20 megapixels?
Yeah, like 20.5 or something, whatever it was.
Just about enough to do a build. I know you only need 5 megapixels. There's more to megapixels than just resolution.
Yeah,
but
again, it's like, I mean, obviously people get lost in the race of things, but people forget that this is what every pro used way back when.
Yeah. Most award-winning photos shot digitally were shot with this or the Mark III. Just because of how long they were out for and how heavily they were accepted by pros. Nowadays, it could be any camera. It could be a Nikon, a Canon,
I think
Sony,
it's fair to say
Fuji.
that this was like Canon's heyday.
Oh, this was peak Canon.
Yeah.
Like they were so far ahead of everyone else when this came out.
Before they disappeared up their own backside and gave it all away to Sony.
Yes, pretty much. It's that rubber gasket there is literally just degraded. That's why it no longer exists. That's just fell apart in my hands. Still chucking. But yeah, that was when I got those, and that was about the time we met, wasn't it? When I got these.
Yeah. So we met in 2013 because I made a point of trying to meet you.
Yeah.
And that was, again, I was like first year, first camera, all that stuff. And that was my 650D, which I bought brand spanking new because it was a birthday gift to myself. And then both of my 6Ds actually I bought used.
Yeah, I've bought all of my cameras. I've never bought a new stills camera, have I? No.
Did you?
No, I bought that second hand.
That's used, on it.
Yeah, I've never bought a brand new camera.
I mean, the only
the Black Magic's was brand new.
I say the only camera I own now that was bought brand new was that Black Magic. Not that one, but that one.
Yeah. My DJI was brand new, the Osmo Pocket.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, my flying camera and my dash cam / action cam.
Video cameras I can see buying new because the tech changes so quickly. So I couldn't buy the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 because it sucks. Whereas in stills cameras, that's just not the case.
Yeah,
you can always go
less of a thing,
4 generations back and still get a banger. So we met about that point. Did I have my studio then? Did I have a studio? Or
the one that became my studio.
Yes, the Lansdowne studio. So I got a studio because I won a campaign, and I won a campaign because I went to a wedding with Hits, and I shot this wedding. And then my mate was like, I've got you a press pass for Kasabian afterwards at some small venue. And I turned up at this venue and I was in a suit for being at the wedding. And I walked up to security and in true me style went, I've got an access all area pass to go backstage with Kasabian. And because I was wearing a suit, I did not have any of these things. They let me backstage. So I went backstage with Tom and took loads of pictures of him. And shared them, and they did really well on socials, and they were picked up by Premier Drums, who then booked me to shoot my first campaign. Up until this point, it was always like shooting for small brands, small businesses, independents. It was a nightmare. This was my first proper client. I probably can't tell you how much I charged them actually for legal reasons, but it wasn't much. It's less than I'd get out of bed for today. But did the shoot, it was a banger, great shots. If my style of work was still the same, they'd still be in my portfolio. And things started to pick up from there on my side. That was probably the first time things started to go.
Yeah, I still remember those shots.
Yeah. Steve White from The Who.
Yeah.
So we did that shoot and things slowly progressed. So again, bookings, the sort of like $1 to $2 a day bookings. Which is like your jobbing photographer rate, I think, in the UK. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah,
yeah. It's like your, I can take good pictures rate. It's not your I'm a creative with a special niche. It's got a camera, can take pictures. So started doing those, which was good. And I kept the same kit. I kept the same kit until I moved to this studio. And that was 2016.
Yeah. I mean, funny if it popped up on my timeline, the floor plan of the studio.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, exciting news. Much to the distress of one of our mutual friends, well, as I say friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unstable. He
was
super triggered that he didn't get that studio.
Yeah. A lot of people wanted that studio space. It was a good location and it was cheap.
It was cheap. Again, like, basically, you did a couple of shoots a month for the group.
Yeah.
And that paid for most of the rent.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I think my rent was like $200 a month or something. It's not $200
Initially, it was less than that.
Yeah. I mean, and then I moved in here in 2016. It was probably not one of my finest years in terms of personal behavior. But, you know, such is life. I think I started to get a little bit of success in photography. I had a little bit of cash and I partied a little bit too hard and didn't focus on my career enough or relationships enough and basically just overindulged in the party life is a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean,
probably from 2013 to 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I remember those years.
Yes, they were not the good years. They were not the good years. But we made it through those years. It's a better years. In 2016, I moved in here with Dangerous Dave and Paul.
Yeah.
As a trio collaboration.
The Warriors 3.
Yeah. And we started building the studio and we quickly realized that it wasn't going to work out. Because everyone was at different stages in what they wanted. I wanted what I have today. And they wanted different things. I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
So I was working in a certain way, they were working in different ways, and I was very keen to get moving and not do things by committee. More of a dictatorship.
I think you having this place was like the catalyst for the kind of push that you're on now.
Absolutely, because the rent is so high. I mean, it's cheap, but it costs thousands.
Still
of
spend
months
it, and my God, the electricity.
Oh, the electricity. It says with the air conditioning blaring on full blast. But so I moved here. You moved into my old studio.
I did.
When did you leave there?
Well, ironically, it was at the start of October 2020 because the group that used to own it, quote unquote, sold the whole group off while it was their choice to do so.
Yeah.
Direct quote from one of the owners.
Yeah.
And then they sold it to somebody new who decided not to bother paying their rent.
Brilliant.
So I got literally 24 hours notice to say, I don't know if you've got anything expensive in here. I'm like, everything's expensive.
Yeah. Everything.
Everything's expensive. But the receivers are coming in tomorrow, so maybe you want to shift it. I'm like, brilliant.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Joys of subletting.
Having just paid that month's rent as well.
Oh, perfect. You know they got their money from it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So that was the bad, because the plan was also about the time I was about to start making my first short film. And the plan was to use that as base camp.
Yeah.
And of course that was immediately removed.
Yeah. Having a studio is so useful just from a logistical point of view. So I think around that same time, I'd say prior to that even, when we first moved in here and when I was at my last place, I had my first manager who was Angie.
Yeah, I remember
Angie. Great.
Yep.
Lovely lady who helped me out on a very small fee. Did way more than she should have done for the money she got paid. And then I moved from her to my agent, Graham, whose surname I won't put on the internet. Graham still won't speak to me to this day, which is a shame. I really like Graham. He was a really good guy. I loved working with him. But when I parted ways with him, it was not received well. So I worked with him for a few years. We did reasonable jobs, but I needed a different agent. And that was about the same time you lost your studio, I think, was about COVID-y times.
2020, yeah. So right in the slap bang in the pandemic.
Yeah. So I was shooting this, that, which way, every way, everything. I was doing like work for Mars, work for Pepsi, shooting for anything, like actors' headshots. If you needed a photographer, I was shooting it.
Well, I remember doing some retouching for Guinness.
Yeah.
Well, the best retouch job ever to turn that pint into what it became.
Yeah. we did a lot. And I was working at this point here. So I'd left my agent. I was working for lots of agents. So there was, I'd got my work out there. Prior to signing with my first agent, Graham, nobody wanted me.
Something.
Sorry, I'll stop there. Remember, prior to working with my first agent, is that a camera issue rather than a battery then? A small interlude. We had a minor technical glitch there. So after my first agent, Graham, we were doing a bit of this, that, and everything. I worked. Nobody wanted me when I signed with Graham. Nobody. He took me on as a pity project because my work was not at a level to get anything better than that. Keep in mind, I was shooting ad campaigns, and I was getting jobs at like between 7 and 10 grand a day.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one of the earlier jobs I worked with you on was the Fatal Four for the
yeah, that was a big job. Yeah.
And again, that was on national TV, so that was kind of fun.
That was a good payout, I think. Although I think I spent most of the money getting it done. There was a lot of that in the early days.
I remember you like dumping a bag full of like what turned out to be slider bits and said, "Rob, can you just make this work?"
Yeah, motorized. That tech back then was quite expensive.
Yeah.
Motorized sliders with an intervalometer built into it. That video looks sick, to be fair.
Yeah.
It was a pain to edit because computer speeds. But so yeah, no one would have me. Graham had me. Then I realized I'd got to a point where I needed something better. Lots of agents were kind of interested, but not enough to commit. They're like, yeah, we like you. Be great to work with you. We're not putting you on our books, but we have got a campaign for you. So I was doing a lot of that, and I was doing a lot of shoots for people who'd messed up. So some big name would have messed up, and I'd get paid additional money to do the shoot and never mention it.
Isn't that literally how you met your current girlfriend?
Yes. Somebody messed up the book cover shoot. Not messed it up, they didn't like the results. So I shot it credit free, but for a stack. Although it turns out in hindsight, that stack was not big enough.
Well,
because I thought I was getting paid a fortune for what I did. But
little did you know what was around the corner.
Yeah, there we go. Such is life. It always feels like a lot of money at the time, doesn't it? So yeah, we got to that point, and then COVID happened. And by this point here, I'd stopped being an asshole, which is good, I'd say. I'd stopped partying too hard. I'd stopped being just basically a bad human being. For various reasons, we won't go into those, but we'd stopped all that bad stuff, and I was focused. And I was laser focused. And in 2020, I think it would have been.
Yeah, that's when the COVID hit. Yeah.
I shot a new portfolio on my kitchen floor with a 5 DSR, 100mm Milvus macro planar, and a 500 joule Bowen's head with half of a soft lighter because I left the other half on the wrong side of the loading bay. I drove down here in my beat out car. You remember that little Picanto I had, my first car? I didn't learn to drive till I was like mid-30s.
Yeah, because you're always like, oh, I work around London, don't need a car.
Yeah, literally having a car in London is the worst.
Yeah.
But in Leicester, there is no public transport that works. So got this beat up old car. It cost me like 800 quid, I think. Got the seats down, loaded everything into it, left half the modifier here. So the reason my early work has a very unique look is because I'm missing half the modifier.
I remember coming in to do some work with you at that time. Now I was parked up in the corner, like so socially distanced, like wiping everything down with antibacterial wipes and all sorts.
We
of
landed
things.
a good one actually in there. I'll get to that in a bit. Actually, that was a good point. That was a major perk to my career. So I sent this new body of work out that I shot at home because I had an identity crisis. I was like, my identity is I'm a photographer and I currently can't work. So I'm going to create something that I want to create, not what I think will pay the bills. Turns out that really did pay the bills. So I shot that, I sent it out to every agent, and I had a lot of offers. So this was just before lockdown. No, this was lockdown 1. In lockdown 2, I was going for meetings in London regularly. And I keep in mind it cost like 200 quid to get the train to London. So I was constantly going back and forth to London, getting these meetings with agents, and they were all saying yes. I'd got 5 or 6 offers, and I signed with LPA at the time. Right or wrong, don't know, but I liked what I heard, so gave it a go. And things were very good, very quick. And then they stagnated again. I brought a very big client in for them straight away, which was good because it took the heat off me. And then I had a dead patch of 9 months. And very big client, but luckily the big clients there were much bigger than anything I'd done before. And yeah, in that gap, we were doing the other work. So you helped us. You did the Doritos campaign,
yep.
Which again was a great payer. And we did a TV thing for Ocado from the house. We had the director. So we've got quite a big kitchen in our house. So we shot the TV in the kitchen with Holly.
Yeah, like cables draped from the front to the back through all the windows.
Yeah, so we had, we lit it, shot it, and everything like that. We had walkie-talkies. The director was sat in his car on the driveway with a live stream going into his car.
A little studio village in the car.
Yeah. And luckily, my girlfriend is both a food stylist and a TV personality. So she presented and cooked. I filmed, edited. That was all good. Did a TVC work. Also, that shoot you were talking about where we had Rob sat in the corner. So I had to come in maybe, I think it was like 5 days before to get your table, water and everything set up.
Yeah, make sure
it had to be
sanitized.
Yeah.
So
then you came in through one door. We came in through another door. There was tape on the floor as to where you could go and where you couldn't go, masked up to high heaven, gloves on. It was pretty hellish, but
got it done.
Got to get it done. We got it done. And it was it's only like an 8-hour day wearing a mask. It's not the end of the world, is it?
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, we did loads of those shoots because I live with a food stylist and a TV personality.
Which was fortunate, especially when that's your partner. So
yeah, absolutely. So we did a lot of that sort of stuff. And then you were working with me a lot during that period. There wasn't much else going on.
No.
That you could have done for your line of work.
No. I was just like, well, how do I keep the roof over my head and food in the fridge?
Exactly.
You're not allowed to do anything.
It was a scary time. It was a very scary time. I remember getting given some sort of bursary from the government. And I remember, this is brilliant. There's so much money. They went out and bought camera gear with it. Idiots.
Yeah, see, I've got obviously none of that.
Yeah.
Because I only paid rent, not rates. Therefore, I wasn't eligible for the 20 grand grant. Right. Brilliant.
Yeah. So I got that. Imagine how long that lasts running a place like this.
Oh, yeah, like months.
Yeah.
And that's it, done.
2 months and it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else, the idiots, spent it on kit. It's like when there was at this time here during COVID, no one knew how long it was going to last.
Well, again, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Hopefully,
yeah. Hopefully, let's not have another pandemic.
I mean, every 100 years or so, there's some sort of pandemic.
Well, I think there was a bit of the avian flu pandemic in Asia before that, but it wasn't global.
Yeah, but this is why Asia handles pandemics really well, because they have them every 5 years or so historically. It's a normal thing. It's just this one went global.
I think the Spanish flu was the last really bad one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and that was my great grandparents' era.
Yeah, and that was like 1920 something.
Yeah, that was a bad one. So yeah, we got through that period, thankfully, and towards the end of it, I left LPA and I moved to Agent at Large with Pete, which is where I am. We've glossed over a lot of this. I don't want to bore everyone with every minute detail and every disaster, but let's giving you all the highlights here. Keep in mind, I messed up at least one job a year. It was catastrophic. I upset at least one client a year as a minimum throughout this period through immaturity, stupidity, lack of social awareness, whatever it may be. And I lost one photo shoot in terms of data. But luckily, that client never paid me anyway. And we still got debt collectors out after them.
Yeah.
And they are a local client, which is why we don't work with local businesses unless they pay 100% upfront. But there we go. So yeah, there's all that. So I then signed with Agent at Large. I've been chatting to Pete for a while. Have you met Pete?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been chatting to Pete for a while. I was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. And I went to meet him. I'd imagine, knowing Pete, I met him in Little Italy and then probably Soho House.
Seems probable.
I think I went out for lunch with him and came home at 3 a.m. And that was the deal done.
Yeah.
Followed by a horrific hangover. I've been working with Pete since on some big campaigns together.
Yeah. And now you're an agent in your own right.
And now I'm an agent as well. I do agenting. So I've done a lot of budgets recently. I'm good at a budget. Some treatments, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, we sort of carry on with that. I've got a couple of briefs in at the moment, actually. I'm just finishing off sign off from one job. I've got one more round of re-edits to do, and then that's done and dusted.
Yep.
And then I get paid, which is nice because I've paid everything, but I've not seen any money yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was talking to people I know, and so look how much you've laid out already.
Oh,
it was spendy.
Yeah, when you're already 50 grand in a hole before you've even done the job, it's like but yeah, so that's kind of where. Well, what have you been doing more recently then since COVID? How's yours changed since then?
Well, I mean, it was, I suppose, rather than just being like a jobbing photographer, I got booked more for like post-production skills and stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I kind of sort of came into my own as a retoucher, I guess, is during that period. I mean, not that I didn't already have the skill set, but I wasn't booked for that before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was like okay, we need someone to do this. Rob, what can you do with this? Yeah,
and you're definitely more video now as well, aren't you, than stills?
Yeah, I mean, again, that was very much deliberate. In that, there's a million jobbing photographers in Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Very few do film, and very few are actually good at it. And let's milk that gravy train of the award-winning filmmaker thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let's go off and do that. And and again, it's something I enjoy more. I mean, most of my ingest is watching movies. I don't really watch TV shows. I just tend to watch films, and that's where I get most of my inspiration and things that connect with me, really. So
yeah, I think it's a strong, like from a purely numbers point of view, you're going to get more work as a videographer because there's fewer videographers. And video is like the amount of video that's been around has stayed the same, but now every still shoot also has a video element.
Yeah, it's a bolt on.
Yeah, always. Like that shoot we just did had a video element to it. There's always. I don't remember doing many stills only shoots.
I can't remember the last time we did a stills only shoot.
Johnson & Johnson's.
Yeah, but that was last year at some point. About a year ago, I'd say.
Yeah, it's about a year ago. Yeah. It's been a while since we've done stills only. I've done video only recently as a photographer.
Yep.
KFC advert, video only.
Yeah. That's now gone public.
Yep, it's everywhere. It's nice to see. I've not seen it myself, but apparently it looks nice. Someone tried to take a picture of it for me. I was like, this doesn't really work, does it? There's loads of KFC stuff there. But yeah, so that's kind of how we've ended up where we are. And I think it's important to discuss this because I think it's very easy to look at this setup here on the podcast and go, look all that kit they've got. Of course, it's easy for them.
It's all your kit, in fairness, but
half these. No.
Oh, actually, no, 2/3 of the cameras are mine. Yeah. So.
If this podcast was just me, it'd just be a straight on cam. Yeah, I don't think I've got another camera that can do it.
Yeah, you don't have a backup cam to that.
No, if that goes down, I'm screwed. I'd use my DJI Osmo.
Yeah,
well, it's good.
But let's face it, the content won't be any less valid.
No, but the shot wouldn't look as nice. It's a nice shot. These Blackmagics, they're good file.
I mean, I was an early adopter. I mean, I bought or ordered this literally as soon as it came out. It's kind of one of those nice circle of life moments where the waiting list was anything from 3 to 9 months to get one.
Yeah,
and I found a rental place that also did sell that was on Palmer Studios, and that's where this one came from. And then I made my first short film with it, which was screened at Palmer Studios. And I was like, so that was kind of a nice little circle of life.
Yeah. Go full circle. No, that's good. That's good. I mean, they are good cameras. But going from good cameras to early cameras, what was your first camera that you got paid for? I'm there, get my words out. I'm on MPB. We're on Canon cameras. We've gone cheapest to most expensive.
Well, mine was a 650D. That was my first camera. So.
Right, let's see if we can find one. Can we find one? Not yet. Or there might not be one here. No, 5D tells you there. Yours is not here. Mine
shows you how popular they were.
Mine was the 450D, which I have just seen one of. Where is it? 40D. There we go. 450D. This is my first. You can get it for 53 quid.
It's just nothing, is it? 53 quid for it.
Barely used because these were hobbyist cameras. 53 quid for the first camera I had. Oh my God, it looks awful, doesn't it? And I say that I didn't even buy it. I had to borrow it from my uncle because I didn't have any money. So he had one for holidays and stuff, and I borrowed it from him. I then borrowed £3,000 from my grandmother, which I only just paid her back for recently because I forgot about. It was really, really embarrassing. I was like, I'm so sorry. It came with this 18 to 55 kit lens. I don't know which version it was, which was soft throughout the entire zoom and aperture range.
And the worst of all, variable aperture.
Yes, you're like 2.8.
3.5 to like 5.6 or whatever it was. It's just like, yeah.
So, but I had this. So the first thing I did, obviously to make it look more pro, I bought a battery grip.
Yeah,
because I couldn't just rock that 450D. I then bought lenses. I bought the 51.8.
And lens hoods, importantly.
I didn't get those at this point. I wasn't on the lens hood train yet.
I was straight on that.
I did later. Every lens has a lens hood now. But I bought the 51.8 for 100 quid.
Yeah, the nifty 50.
Yep. And the 28 2.8 for 150 quid. Brand new.
Yeah, that was the gold ring one, wasn't it?
No, cheaper than that. It was a black ring one. Really loud autofocus. It was like.
Although I remember like second shooting a wedding with you, and I think you gave me a 50D. It might have been a 660D.
So
my God, the loudest shutter slap I've ever heard in my life.
After this camera here, I bought the 50D.
Yeah. The
rationale behind that was I needed better sensor because that 450D. Now I always say, oh, the camera doesn't matter. It matters a bit more than that. The 450D sucked a little bit too hard. The 50D, which you can get, the same price, Canon 50D.
Yeah.
Image quality from this, I shot campaigns on this. 80 quid, 70 quid. My one of these is still in use today, daily use with my mum's business. Yeah. I bought this in 2012.
Yeah, it'd be about right, yeah.
And it was used then. And I took it to every music festival. I probably did 15, 20 music festivals a year. Every concert, probably did 2 or 3 a week, and everything in between. I then bought that Sigma 18 to 35 2.8, the old one.
Yep.
Which is like 24 to 70 equivalent. And at that point, that was my camera kit. I had a 430 EX2 flash I bought with the money from my grandma as well.
Yeah.
And I spent the rest of that money on creating work. Really bad work. But, I mean, look at this. 70 quid. It's nuts.
I mean, you'd have to question why you buy a new camera for the most part.
Well, quite. After that, I went for the 5D. About £150 there. Then it was a 5D Mark II, about £200.
7D, the Twitcher's camera of choice.
Yeah, I've got a 7D in the I hate the 7D. Or a 1D Mark IV. That would have been the dream back then. It's a weird crop factor, but it's a beast. My 1DS Mark II, I sold mine recently. I bought a mint condition one and never used it. It's my dream camera. Turns out it was only my dream camera because I couldn't afford it.
Was that a 6D up there?
Are we looking up a bit?
Just a bit, yeah.
60,
yeah,
150. I guess like £300 for a good one.
I've paid considerably more than that for mine.
Yeah. 5D Mark III. This was it was the first Canon camera with good autofocus. Under £500.
Yeah, it's the one where you could use something other than the sensor spot.
Yes.
And actually have it hit.
It's the same camera really as my 5DSR, but with a not as good sensor.
Yeah. And also for the nerds and the video nerds, that had the best version of Magic Lantern for the 5D Mark III.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could get RAW from it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like usable. I mean, I was never a fan of Magic Lantern. I think you had to be a bit more techie to really...
Yeah, you have to be a bit of a nerd. It's kind of like Hackintoshing for cameras.
Exactly. It was always a bit scary for me. Didn't manage to destroy anything, but, you know, it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
So that's what we started on. That's how cheap you can get it today. So if you're sitting there going, I'm skint, I can't do it, you don't need the good kit to start with.
I mean, again, like 50 quid camera, done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good enough to get started, 100% good enough.
Oh, yeah. 250 quid at most on a camera body to get started.
Yeah.
If you want to be a professional and you've not made a penny yet, don't spend more than 250 quid.
150 quid now?
Yeah. Silly money.
Again, full frame. Everything you want, really.
Excuse me, sorry. Yes, yeah, absolutely. So, the toxic space of photography. Now, some of those who've been watching this channel for a while will remember I did a video where I said, I'm done with YouTube, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to make videos how I want them to be on YouTube, and I'm going to do my Studio Access. So Studio Access is my education platform. That's what we're going to be filming later today. It's literally where I just go, here is what you need to know without having to pander to... When I say pander to YouTube and the algorithm, well, that actually means the general population. You know, Studio Access is there for the 1% who want to be professionals and not just be entertained. YouTube is there for people who want to have a good time. However, I did a good batch of really happy-go-lucky videos and they all tanked. I've since changed the titles in all of them to depressing ones and they're all picking up. If there's not a negative word in the title or a negative connotation, no one watches it.
We've got to pander to the doom scrollers.
Yeah. And it's not, you think, oh, yeah, but maybe they're not loyal followers. There's a better watch time. I mean, they're watching it for longer. And there's a better repeat viewing time, which means it's people coming back more often. The sad fact of the matter is, if you have a title on YouTube and it doesn't have a negative word, it doesn't perform as well. And I keep coming back round to this conversation every now and again because it bothers me. I'd love to go, here is how to become a successful professional photographer. No one's going to watch it. If I title it something like, don't make these mistakes, people are going to watch it. It's intrigue and it's negativity. It's just the way the human brain works. It's not an algorithm thing. It's not a YouTube thing. It's a human condition thing. Because the algorithm on YouTube is made to keep you all on the platform for as long as possible. In order to do that, it has to serve you what you want to watch. And it turns out what everyone wants to watch is negative things. However, I am keeping the videos positive and upbeat. So, negative titles and thumbnails, positive content. That's what we're doing from now on. Because as someone points out, they're like, yeah, but you make enough money from your other things to do it for free. It's Sunday. And it's not that I don't enjoy doing this. I love doing this. But I've had to tell my youngest that I'm not in today because I'm going to go and make a podcast, which I do want to do. But in the same vein, I can't tell him I'm too busy today. I want to tinker with my car all day. this pays money, which means I can justify it. But there's
it's still time away from family and all the rest of it. So
absolutely. So it does need to make money. I can't just do it for the love of it because I'm not independently wealthy, sadly. If you see me making ridiculous videos one day, it's because I've won the lottery. But following on from this sort of toxic space of talking about everyone likes these negative things, I did a video on retirement. And there's another issue is that people read the title and don't watch the video, which is far from ideal. I had a lot of DMs of people going, congratulations on your retirement. I've not retired. Yeah. That's not what the video, it wasn't a retirement announcement. Anyone who watched it will know what it is. And I think it's probably one of the best videos we made recently, but I didn't put a negative title on it because I thought, sometimes I don't like pandering to the public, is the short of it. But as you'll see, the previous video is up to about 30,000 hits, which is where I put a negative title on it. And this one's at about 6,000. That's a significant difference in pay. And it took me significantly longer to make this video, but I thought it was an important video. I will title it how I damn well please. So we titled it Retirement, Let's Talk. Because we're talking about retirement.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is people's views on retirement. And, whether you're in a day job now and you're going to retire to do photography, or whether you're a photographer, you're going to retire to do something else. I have a very specific view on the world in that I refuse to do anything I don't want to do, which is quite childish. I'm lucky that I've managed to make it work. But it's obviously it's not the sort of advice you can give to the general population. Go and do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life, because most people can't do what they love. If I wanted to be a professional football player, I'm shit out of luck. It just happens that what I love to do, I'm also good at.
Yeah.
But it's not a given.
No. And, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to put the roof over your head.
Absolutely.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah. And for sure, if this all went belly up anytime, I would be cleaning toilets. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, I've got to make money. What's the quickest job I can get? Cleaner. I'm going to go and be a cleaner.
Yeah.
I'll be Ubering, whatever it takes, because you got to pay. You got to pay your way. And I'm just quite fortunate in that during my selfish years, where I had no one to rely on, that's when I put the graft in. Now that I have people who sort of rely on me and all the rest of it, I can not do as much, which is why, back to the titles, we have to do the negative titles to get the views, because people rely on me. And it might be a small amount of my income from photography through YouTube, but it's still an income.
It's still an income. And importantly, again, you have to factor in your time away, not with the family on a Sunday, as we are today. And it has to be a justification for that.
Absolutely. I mean, the other justification is I don't do it at all, which is what other people say, I just don't bother doing it. But I do like doing it. But I can't just do things because I like them for free. There's loads of stuff I like doing. I'd love to start cycling again. But I can't justify going out for 14 hours a week on my bike.
Yeah.
For what my own, that's selfish. But this I can justify because there's a paycheck in it. I'd love to do it anyway. And if I was independently wealthy, I would do it anyway.
Yeah. And, we're fortunate to have sponsors.
Yes, absolutely. If it wasn't for sponsors, we wouldn't be doing this at all.
No.
Because it's too expensive to do. And then the time. But, we get the sponsors in, which we're very grateful for. They get something, we get something, you get something. Everyone gets something, I feel. And it's a good exchange.
Everybody's getting their beak wet, I think it's fair to say.
That's a good, I've not used that phrase in years. Which is good because it brings us through to our final topic, which is the industry going to survive? And I think in recent months, I've become more and more confident in it just surviving through AI. AI is becoming more and more crypto, becoming more and more NFTs, becoming more and more .com bubble. People don't like it.
No, I mean, obviously, working in the space that you do, there's, if anything, a vehement pushback on it.
Massive pushback. Clients don't want it. Ad agencies don't want it.
Well, I was like, oh, mate, I want that.
Yeah. And all these people going, it's going to get better. So CGI is really good. People don't want it.
Yeah.
The fact that people don't even want Photoshop to be used on images of people. What, and you think they're going to want a computer-generated file entirely?
Yeah, no.
It's not going to happen. There's great things AI can do, but it's not taking our jobs. And, this could age really badly. Kodak. And digital's rubbish.
And I think currently AI is in a bit of a plateau as well, where it's had a massive rush. And now it's like, okay, well, this is where we're at now.
Yeah.
anything that's changing is now very much incremental.
Yeah, and I think, AI needs new stuff to feed it.
Yeah.
And if wheels stop working,
It's got nothing, yeah.
and eventually we're going to be very valuable.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like certain countries take on the electric vehicle market.
Yep.
They're like, well, we'll just pile them out, cheap as you like. And when everyone else is out of business, then we'll start jacking the prices up.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of where you're at kind of with AI, I think, at the minute. It's because, I mean, some of it's fun. Like,
I use it all the time.
I mean, you saw me as a little Funko Pop. That was hilarious.
That was great. And I think ChatGPT is currently my favorite AI and most used AI. I'm yet to find an image generator or AI editing software that can do a job at the standard we need it doing at.
No, it can't. I mean, a friend of mine who runs an AI business now, he's very much all about Claude, which is a paid platform.
I've used it, yep.
And he said, look, forget ChatGPT, mate. This is the one. But again, because it's paid, how many people are adopting it? That's the thing.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, like, it's not like when cameras came out, pens and pencils disappeared.
No. In the same way that it was all over when we went to digital cameras, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It isn't, is it?
It's funny, I see these comments now and again. The smartphone's ruined photography. No, it hasn't.
No. I mean, people we both like, Chase Jarvis, for example, wrote a book, the best camera is the one you have with you.
Yeah. I use my smartphone for loads of stuff. Thing is, the better technology gets, the lower the barrier to entry. Therefore, the higher the standard of work has to be professional.
Yeah.
If I was doing what I do today, 20 years ago, I would be a multi-millionaire because my standard is so much higher than work of 20 years ago. But it's not, it's today.
But what I think has been interesting, certainly over the sort of smartphone revolution of the last 20 years or so, is that it really put photography at the forefront of the zeitgeist. Like before, people, because it was a very niche thing, photographers went shooting film and all the rest of it. Now everybody's a photographer, and of course now people are interested in it. And now all of a sudden the industry boomed on the back of that.
Exactly. So because of smartphones and smartphone cameras, Instagram exists. Because of Instagram adverts exist. Because of those, new photo shoots exist that never existed before.
Exactly.
Like there's more photo shoots going on today than
more opportunity
before.
than you've ever had.
Ever before. Like, especially getting into it. There's so many jobs. Every tiny cafe needs a photo shoot of their menu. Just for Deliveroo and Uber Eats.
Yeah, even like baked potato stands at festivals.
Yeah. Photo shoot.
Content, yeah.
And before, you got your takeaway menu, it would just be a list of names of items, prices, and the number next to it. Now, you go onto Deliveroo and you can look at every dish, photographed by a professional photographer.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And that was always the thing, like back in the day, like never eat at a restaurant that has like pictures in the menu.
Yeah. It's never a good sign.
Oh, the irony, but
yeah. There's never been more photography needed. Phones haven't ruined photography. Digital cameras haven't ruined photography. They just made the need for more of it. And I don't know where these people get these stats from, because I've never seen anything which says, yes, this has killed. Like the phone killed the point and shoot camera.
Yeah, of course
because you no longer need it.
Because again, that was one of those things, you either had a phone or a professional camera and there was nothing really in the middle.
Yeah. But like we used to have a point and shoot camera on a night out. Someone would have, or it'd always be one of the girls had a point and shoot camera. No one has that now because you've got your phone. Everyone's got a phone. It's got a point and shoot camera in it.
And occasionally, like your instant Kodak cameras, just for, giggles.
Polaroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for whenever you couldn't send the film to the actual lab. But it's like, I remember like, if you think back to when Aperture Priority came out, it was a Canon T90, I think, or something around there. Everyone's like, oh, it's over now. They can even expose an image automatically. It's not over.
No.
Being able to take a photograph technically correct is useless.
But like all things, you have to move with the times, and this is the thing.
Absolutely.
So, it was the 35mm film photographers that refused to sign on to digital that got left behind.
Yeah.
In the same way that those that are still doggedly, I'm a stills photographer, mate, and refuse to get into video are now being left behind because there's the expectation that you have stills and moving pictures on the same shoot.
Absolutely. And you've got to move with it. It's not like I shot film when I first started. I now shoot digital stills and moving images. if I'd have stayed shooting film, I'd have had less money come in. I could still make a career today shooting film. I still get people asking me to shoot film. Rare, but I don't market myself like that. I know a lot of fashion photographers who only shoot film.
Yeah.
And they make big money. But digital makes it an option for everyone. And it's convenient and it's quick and it's great. And we're going to need images for a long time. Until a new... I don't even know the word for this. We've got phones, which are digital, with digital platforms and everything. Until something new that supersedes digital comes out, which I don't know what it is because I can't even fathom what that could be.
No,
you're going to need photos.
And what you have, and again, this was particularly true of the pandemic era, is you had people glued to their phones and screens. So there was a massive want from the advertisers to be able to push their content to these people. Like you had a captive audience.
Well, during that period, we were doing social media campaigns at 30 grand a day. Obviously, we don't get 30 grand a day now, but 30 grand a day for a social media campaign.
Yeah.
Like 2 shots for Instagram. Big brands, obviously, not like your local boutique.
No.
But there was big money then. And, these things go in rounds, but I'm not worried. If I was genuinely worried and I genuinely thought this was the end of photography, I wouldn't be sat here today.
No, and I think it's not the end of photography. It's the end of average meh photography is what it is.
Yeah, it's changing, it's moving, it's adapting. Shoot budgets are changing, shoots are changing. It's all changing. But even on different shoot budgets, I still make the same money because we just change and we adapt and we change how we do things. We change what we use. We change how we produce the shoot. Still make the same money. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm more comfortable with this.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good part to leave this at the end of season 3.
I know, it's the final episode of season 3.
It's the last one. We will be back for season 4. We're just trying to work out, again, either sponsors or a way to finance it. But thank you, everybody, for listening. It's been great. Yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah, see you later.